joining us now over the phone, Benzie Central baseball coach Rich Gottardo. Rich, how are we doing today on this beautiful Thursday?
Hey, not too bad, Mitch. How are you guys doing?
Hey, you know what? We're minutes away from March Madness tipping off on the men's side. I can't complain one bit. I can't complain one bit at all. But talk to me here about the squad you have come back this year. Obviously, you graduate 3 kids, but you bring back a lot of pieces. Just how excited are you as a whole for this group?
I know me and my coaching staff, we're pretty excited about this year. Like you said, we only lost 3 guys last year. Obviously, you can't replace. We had Tucker Ward, Quinn Zickert, and Roger Lamy. Those were 3 veteran guys, 3 leaders that, you can't replace. But we got a bunch of seniors this year that I feel like can step up and fill that role pretty well, though, too.
Rich, you're bringing back a lot of talent as well when you talk about Steve Barron and Dan Wallington, Dakota, Cale Cott. I mean, we really could go on. There's a lot of talented guys in different spots on this team. What's that like as a coach to bring back so much and to maybe have that team chemistry already in place?
Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, a lot of consistency coming back from last year. Like you said, we got Cale Cott. He's going to be a senior leader. The 2 Lopez boys, Danny Wallington, Steve Barron. I mean, Wyatt Knopfsinger as well. A lot of veteran leadership here. A lot of guys that have played varsity baseball already, so there's not going to be too much of a learning curve from last year coming into this year. And my coaching staff and I, we kind of sat down last night and just went over tryouts and where we're going to place guys where, and just looking at a lineup card. It's going to be pretty fun to fill out a lineup card this year with how versatile all these guys are. I mean, most of them pitch, actually just about all of them pitch, play multiple positions, and like you guys know, with the pitch limits now that we have, it's for us smaller schools, it's kind of tough to plan out your week when it comes to that pitching staff, but this year shouldn't be too much of a problem for us.
Rich, kind of talk to me about those arms that you have, and how important is it to have multiple guys that can throw when you talk about coming from a small school?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, our main philosophy here at Benzie is we got to throw strikes, pitch to contact. I mean, I don't have any guys that are going to be blowing anybody away by any stretch of the imagination. So we got to pitch to contact and play defense pretty well, which is what we did last year. Throwing strikes is the main one. Our workhorse last year was Wyatt Knopfsinger. I can't remember exactly how many innings he threw last year, but he did not walk a single guy the entire year, which was a stat I haven't seen. I don't think I've ever seen that in my years of playing baseball where a pitcher didn't walk anybody all year. As far as other guys, I mean, you got Dakota Dawson that ate a lot of innings for us last year. Steve Barron pitched very well. We might even be able to get Danny Wallington out there a couple innings this year too as well when he's not catching.
Yeah, talk to us about Danny a little bit. Obviously, he's your guys' backstop back there. He's very reliable, very consistent player, and you've got him for a couple of more years here as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's only coming into this will be his junior season, so like you said, he's our backstop. He's the leader behind the plate there too. We got a couple other guys that might be able to spot him behind the plate, which would hopefully save his knees a little bit, get him out from behind the plate, because he's a pretty athletic kid too. He's our quarterback in the football team, so he can move around a little bit. So that's always an option too. We can get him out behind the plate and put him out, third base, outfield, wherever. I don't think he's going to hurt you too bad. Other catchers too. We got Dominic Lopez. He has caught for us in the past before too. We also have a freshman, Lane Sanchez, who might be able to help fill that spot as well.
We keep talking about Dan Wallington, but I'm curious too, because last year as a sophomore, he kind of had a breakout year, kind of was able to fly a little bit under the radar. This year now, I mean, junior year, I mean, teams, especially in Northwest Conference, know who he is. How do you think he's going to handle maybe that little bit of pressure of possibly having a target on his back, knowing he's going to be that kind of guy for you?
Yeah, I think he knows that. We've had those conversations already that obviously he's going to be a 2, 3, 4 middle of the pack hitter wise. You're probably not going to be seeing too many fastballs come right down the pipe, so expect to see some off speed stuff. I think he'll definitely live up to the challenge though. He did last year, came through in some big situations for us. Some postseason honors as well for him here too, which I think got his name out there a little bit too, where coaches are going to start taking some pretty big notice of him as well. Same thing with the Lopez boys. Those 2 kids can really swing the bats pretty well. Steve Barron, I'm expecting a pretty good year out of him too, swinging the bat as well. We got some newer guys too that are going to come and help fill out the varsity team. A lot of them played for me last year as well. A couple of JV guys that came up as well with Jacob Gillison, Evan Chandler. Those two are going to try to help out in the outfield as well with returners of Austin Smith out there and Keegan Shakey.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about some newcomers. If you had any new faces kind of hanging around, you got any new freshmen in the program or anything like that you want to touch on?
Yeah, we do have a freshman that we're going to keep up here, Lane Sanchez, football player. I think he wrestled as well too this past winter on that Benzie wrestling team that went to states. And I want to say he placed in the states too for the individual for wrestling. I'm just not positive on that. But yeah, I got a good freshman class too of guys coming back. I think our middle school program getting that rocking and rolling really is helping us out with numbers wise. And, just keeping kids in the baseball program, keeping them excited about playing baseball once they get to high school. It used to be we barely get enough. When I was a JV coach, we'd barely get enough to field a 10-person team on the JV level, where now our JV coaches keep them, 14, 15 kids, and, most of them are sticking around until their senior year to continue playing baseball.
Obviously, every year, every team is different. It's a different blend of characters, different blend of players, personalities. What do you like about this group in particular, not just from a baseball standpoint, but from the people that you have in the program?
Yeah, and a lot of these kids, they started off on the JV. When I was a JV coach, they started off with me down there, so I know them pretty well. I've had them all 4 years. You got a pretty good mixture of personalities. You got a bunch of guys that, they want to win, they want to play baseball the right way, but at the same time, they know baseball is a grind, not to get too down on themselves, and, they try to keep it pretty light at practice as well, too, which I think is the perfect mentality for baseball, being that it is a game of failure, and a lot of kids just don't like failing. And I got a lot of type A personalities on this team that don't like to fail, but at the same time, they realize, hey, I'm not going to be able to, hit a double every single time, so.
Yeah. All right, well, Rich, that's all the questions we have for you. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck to you this season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.